let's go over the Chapter 6 skills review. So let me do this. So Chapter 6 skills review. The first problem says find the area of a rectangle. To find area of a rectangle, you would do length times width. So this would be 9.5 times 2. It's a little fuzzy. Okay, so 9.5 times 2 is 19. And you have to do the units too. Area is squared. So whatever the units are, so it's meters squared. So let's look at our answers. So I would put in 19 and then meters squared or square meters. Okay, let's look. What proportion of the area is blue? So blue would be 1/3. So it says to the nearest hundredth. So 1/3, 0.333. So we have tenths and hundredths. So, sorry, y'all can't see that. 0.33. Graph the inequality on a number line. So let's write what this inequality is. It says x is less than 9. So this looks like an L. I always think of my hands. If it's my left hand, you can make it look the same. So this is less than. So it's going to be at 9, and it's going to be less. So it's going to go toward 0. Let's do it like that. So it look kind of like that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, and so on. So if it's less than, it's not included. So it's an open circle. If it's less than or equal to, it's a closed circle. But this is open, meaning 9's not included. But you know what is included? 8.99. 7.25. So anything that's smaller than 9. So it's going to go this direction. So it's at 9 with the open circle, and it's going to go less than, get smaller and smaller. And also, what I teach my students is look at this and look at the arrow. See how they're the same? If it's greater than, then it would be, let's say x is greater than 15. So this would go, it would be at 15, and it would go in the direction. See how this symbol is the same as that? It's going to go this direction. And this one's less than again, so it's open circle. It would only be closed circle if it had the or equal to. So this is closed circle going left, less than. Let's look at the next one. I'm going to write it down here. X is greater than or equal to -6. So the or equal to means it's going to be closed on that number. So if we have a number line, -6, so -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0. And then going to the left means you're getting smaller. Okay, so this would be a closed circle. Okay, so this is this is greater than, right? Because it doesn't make the L like less than. So this is greater than. So greater than means it's going to get larger. So it's going to go to the right. And also look, see how this arrow and this inequality symbol looks? So closed circle going to the right this time at -6. It says numbers greater than 3. So correct inequality that describes the solution. So the inequality is x greater than 3. X is greater than 3. Check answer. The graph, it's going to be at 3, right? To the right means it's getting bigger. The left means it's getting smaller. So it's an open circle because it's just the greater than symbol. Open circle. And this is greater, so that means it's getting bigger. Also look at your arrows, see how they are the same. So it's going this direction. Greater than, okay. And then interval notation. The way you do interval notation is using the numbers that x can represent. So on this one being greater than 3, it starts at 3, and then it's going to go on and on to infinity. Infinity is like a sideways 8. Since this is not included, we're going to use a parenthesis. Infinity always has a parenthesis. So x is between 3 and infinity. If it was an or equal to like this one would be -6, because it starts at -6, goes to infinity. Parentheses is always with infinity, but if it's a closed circle or it has the or equal to, it's actually a bracket like that. So parentheses if it doesn't have the or equal to, bracket if it does. So our interval notation on this one would be parentheses 3, 2, there's the infinity sign. Find integers that correspond to the given description. Fewer than 6 people. So think about what the word fewer than 6 people is. So if I have fewer than 6 people at my party, that means I could have 5 people, I could have 4 people, I could have 3, I could have 2, I could have 1, I could have 0, right? So it's anything that is fewer than 6 people. So integers up to, let's see, up to 6, right? Because it's fewer than 6. Or maybe it's up to 5. Let's check. Yes, so it's up to 5 because it says fewer than. So see how we started with 5? So it'd have to be integers up to 6. All right, we have a formula now. So let me write down this formula. So this is the formula for z-score that we're going to be dealing with in chapter 6. So our z-score is found by doing x minus mu over sigma. So it gives us the formula, and we're just asked to find out what the z-score is. So we're going to plug in what we have. So if x is 68, minus the population mean. So this is our sample mean. Mu is our population mean. And sigma is our standard deviation. Minus 71.3 over 1.6. So our sample mean is below our population mean. So we're going to find out how much lower, and then we're going to divide by our standard deviation to find out how many standard deviations below it is. So I'm going to plug this in the fraction. So 68 minus 71.3 over 1.6. So it's negative 2 point, let's see, round to 2 decimal places, 0.6. So our sample mean is 2 standard deviations below. So I'm going to put in negative 2.06. All right, the next one is finding what x is if you're given the z-score. So we are going to plug this in, and let's write down the formula first. All right, so this is finding our our sample mean when we have our population mean and our z-score. We're going to find out what our sample mean is. So we're going to plug in, so x equals, this population mean, mu, is 81.4 plus z, 1.48, times standard deviation, 3.7. So 81.4 plus 1.48 times 3.7. So this equals 86 point, let's see, it says type an integer, do not round. So 86.876. So we are going to write this as 87, I believe. Let's plug it in and see what we get. Nope, it's incorrect. Oh, substitute in. Let me see. 81.4 plus 1.48 times 3.7. Correct form. If there are no special instructions, type a whole number, integer, or a decimal. Oh, do not round. Whole number or decimal. So I should have put in 86.876. Oh, I left on the parentheses. Whoops. Hey, it happens. Sorry, y'all. I should have put in this. So that's what it's asking for. Let's go on to the next question. All right, the next one, evaluate. This says type an integer or decimal rounded to 2 decimal places. So we are going to round this one. Let's find the z-score given the sample mean, population mean, standard deviation, and how many trials there are. So let's look and see. Z equals x bar minus mu over sigma divided by the square root of the number of trials. So we have x bar, 38.9 minus mu, 13.8. Wow, that's a big difference. Over, because you always want to compare your sample mean to your population mean. So that's a pretty big difference there. Over sigma, 1.1 over square root of n, 81 trials. So we'll plug this directly in. So 38.9 minus 13.8 over, you put in another fraction, 1.1 over square root of 81. We're going to round 2 decimal places, so 205.36. So that is my z-score, z-value. All right, here's another one, very similar. So you can go ahead and do that one. Let's see, true or false. So we're looking at n times p. So n times p is greater than or equal to 5, or, and n times q is greater than or equal to 5. And we have n equals 11, p equals 0.3, and q equals 1 minus p. So remember, p is in a binomial distribution, probability of success. Q is probability of failure. So this will be 1 minus 0.3, which is 0.7. So we want to find out what n times p is. So 11 times 0.3. 11 times 0.3. 3.3. Is 3.3 greater than or equal to 5? False. Okay, is n times q greater than or equal to 5? Well, both of them have to be true in order for this to be true. So let's go ahead and just do it. 11 times 0.7. That'd be 7.7. 7.7 greater than or equal to 5. This is true, but it says and. They both have to be true. So anytime you have at least one false, it is a false answer. Looks like we have completed all of the Chapter 6 skills review. So make sure you complete your assignment for the Chapter 6 skills review.